Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're going to be building on the island in Windenburg, and as you could tell from the title, this is going to be a writer or like author's retreat. So I built this as a residential lot, but just as I was sitting down to do the voiceover right now, I actually remembered that we do have the ability to turn any lot in any world into a like rental lot. So if you maybe you have an author sim or a writer or whatever, or any sim, just like any sim, if you have a sim that lives in another world in The Sims 4 and you maybe want to have them have like a little like getaway place, maybe in your head you can pretend that they actually own this lot. So instead of them like renting it for a vacation, maybe they actually own it in your made up imagination, I guess. But yeah, so maybe you could have them actually just rent this lot and use it as a like actual vacation lot, if that makes sense. But in my head, when I was building this, I thought that it wouldn't be a like permanent residence for a sim, but that it would rather be like a little retreat for a sim. So maybe if you have a writer, they come here to like just get away from the hustle and bustle of maybe like San Myshuno or something, and they come here to like get away from everything, to do some writing. And yeah, that sounds so peaceful and so just like nice to like go onto an island and just get away from like everyone. That's something that I would honestly love to do. But yeah, so that's kind of how I furnished the interior as well. There are a bunch of clutter and like personalized objects around the house, but that's because I didn't think of it as a rental lot in the sense that different sims would come and rent the place. In my head, I really did think that it would literally just be for one sim or like one family. So it would technically be like their house. So obviously there would be personalized things, some clutter and stuff that just always stays here, if that makes sense. So yeah, it is technically a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, but I did turn one of the bedrooms into a office, into like a writing office, so they do have somewhere to like sit and write and do their work and just do some reading as well. And then there's a master bedroom that has an ensuite, and then another bathroom that actually also functions as a laundry room. But that bathroom does have a shower in it as well. So if you wanted to turn the second bedroom into like an actual bedroom, you would be able to do that and still have a bathroom for whoever stays in that room. So yeah, that's basically this whole house. It also has a kitchen, dining room, and then a living room as well. And then it also has quite a nice backyard space, which you will see me laying out right now. I do most of the like big furniture items right now, so like the like pool area, the lounge chairs, the grill. I'd also add a cute little like dining spot underneath these like awnings, or I don't exactly know what their like real name is in the game, but these like awning things that came with Island Living, so they look really, really nice. You can actually see it up there in the corner, that big like square thing. I actually put that down, and I think I do the landscaping before I move on to the interior. I built this a few days ago, like I think almost a week ago by now, and I honestly just can't remember exactly what I did or like in what order I did it. But yeah, we have this cute little dining area, and then eventually when we come back to the outside, once I finish the interior, we go ahead and we furnish the backyard little deck area like right off of the kitchen. I also go ahead and add some more like clutter and just decorative things outside, as well as another dining table on that deck area. So there are a lot of like dining spaces outside, which honestly it's probably unnecessary because in my head there would only ever be like maybe 1-2 sims tops at this house. So I don't know, maybe they do entertain and have people over sometimes, or whatever. Maybe this is actually where they live and they have people over, whatever you want to use it for. But I basically put a lot of tables outside because in my head I thought, you know what, they do have a laptop. I do end up putting a laptop in their office instead of a like full PC setup. So, you know, they could take their laptop, outside, sit outside, you know, under the awning or whatever in nature, get some fresh air whilst they do their writing. And then you'll also see when we get to actually furnishing the build, you'll see that I do end up putting a bunch of those open notebooks that we actually got, I believe, in the like freelancer update, the freelancer base game update. We got this really nice looking open notebook that actually looks like a sim has written in it, and they've kind of just left it open, you know, where they've left off. So I think I put one in the bedroom, I put one in the office, I put one in the living room, and then I put another one outside on the deck area. So yeah, there are a lot of notebooks around the place, and again, that's just playing into the whole like author lives here, and maybe they're like a fantasy author or, you know, like a fiction author or something, and they do have a lot of notes. Maybe they have a lot of like brainstorming notes or just random ideas that they come up with, and they kind of handwrite all of their notes in those notebooks, and then when they actually go to do like the writing aspect of it and putting everything together, they type it out on their computer. So that's kind of just the little bit of like storytelling that I had in my head when I was doing this. But yeah, we've moved on to the landscaping, and this lot is quite overgrown. Like, I spent a lot of time landscaping this build, which is probably why it took me like 3.5 hours to do. So even though it's only a small basically one bedroom, 2 bathroom cottage kind of, because it's only one story, and it's only on a 30 by 20 lot. I don't know why it took me this long, but the only thing that I can come up with is the fact that I wanted to decorate it in a very specific style, for one, which is something that I don't usually do. Usually I just, you know, go with whatever works or whatever I think looks best. But this time I was really trying to go for a more specific style, which I'll talk about when we get to the interior eventually. But also because I did spend a lot of time landscaping. You don't even see all of like the footage of me landscaping. There's a lot that I cut out where I was just, you know, going through plants and just taking my time, and I played around with a lot of the like debug items as well. So obviously trying to remember where everything was, and this was again one of the first builds that I did after I came back to The Sims after my like month break away from it. So yeah, it just took me a little bit longer than it probably should have taken me. And yeah, I don't know why it took me that long, but it did. And that's why this video is also like 21 minutes long, because yeah, I had a lot of footage. So I hope you guys don't mind, but this is probably going to end up being a really rambly voiceover anyway. So just like sit down, buckle up, and bear with me, I guess. But yeah, so I don't know where was I going with that whole thing. I don't know what I was talking about before I mentioned how long this build took me. Oh yeah, the fact that it was very overgrown and there's a lot of landscaping. That's what I was talking about. So yeah, it's supposed to kind of look like a renovated cottage. So in my head, the original shell of this build has been here for quite a while. I mean, it is in Windenburg, so in my head, it is a fairly old, it's a very old building, basically. And then this writer actually came, they bought it, and then they renovated all of it. So the exterior, you'll see that the shape is still fairly traditional, kind of just how they found it. But they've like repainted all of the wood outside. They've repainted all of the windows, and maybe they've even replaced some of them. So the whole exterior color scheme is very white and black, and that's something that I don't think I've ever done in a build. I don't think I've ever gone for a like just white and black exterior, and that's also why I wanted to do a lot of landscaping, to just bring that like green and a little bit of like aliveness into, not aliveness, that's not the word I'm trying to say, to bring that little bit of life back into the lot. So yeah, that's why there's a lot of landscaping. There's also a lot of plants on the interior for that same reason, because I did go for a very white and black color scheme in the interior as well, because in my head they did do all of this in like one go. So they got a designer or like an architect or whoever to come in to like renovate the whole exterior, interior, do all of the furnishing so everything matches and, you know, stuff like that. So they had a color scheme and everything that they were working off of. It's not supposed to look like a house that has been furnished over time, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's why I wanted to use a lot of greens and a lot of plants to just bring a little bit of life back in. And then also I ended up using this kind of orangey wood. So that started out in the bathroom with the, I think the tiny living bathroom shelf that we have that has a very like orangey wood swatch, and then I just decided to go with it and use that wood and this kind of like more darker-ish wood as kind of an accent throughout the whole build, just to break up that white and black, because it was a lot. It was just a lot. So I used this wood tone as just a little bit of a break and a little bit of like an extra accent color throughout the whole build. And then because the wood is very like orange and warm toned, I decided to use a little bit of like orangey brown colors as well. So a few of the rugs and stuff you will notice in both the dining room, the living room, and the bedroom. And I think in the office I ended up using one of those like faux fur. That's really hard to say in my accent, by the way. But I used the faux fur rug that came with City Living. So yeah, I used a little bit of orange as well as an accent. So I really like the way it turned out. Again, it's something that, like I said, I built it after I came back from my like little like Sims break. And again, it's just one of those builds. I mentioned it in the family home that went up earlier this week. But it just feels a little bit different from my usual builds. And I don't know if it's the fact that I'm using a color scheme that I wouldn't normally go for. Normally my builds are a little bit more colorful than this one. Or if it's the fact that I was going for a very specific style, or the fact that, I don't know, I usually build with Sims in mind. So I don't even think it was the fact that I was building for a specific sim. I don't know, it was something about it. I think it had to do with the fact also that I just didn't try and make it as perfect as I usually try and do. So there are a few things that would have normally bothered the hell out of me, like having the wood tones that don't match. So for example, you'll notice that the woods in the bathroom are a little bit more orange than the woods that I use throughout the rest of the house. And normally that would have bothered the crap out of me. Like, I would have not been able to finish the video with it looking like that. But after my break, I've noticed that I'm not as particular about stuff like that as I used to be, which honestly I think that's a really good thing, because we're playing a game, and in real life wood tones don't usually all match anyway. So it really doesn't matter too much if you use like two slightly different wood colors. But normally that would have bothered the ever-living, like, you don't know what out of me. But yeah, I've kind of gotten over that, I think, which honestly, like I said, I think that's a good thing, because it makes the build look a little bit more realistic, a little bit more, I don't know, just homey. And I don't know, I really like it. So yeah, I think that's why it looks a little bit different to me. And yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed the build. I really enjoyed working on it, and I hope you guys enjoy the way it turned out. But we finished the kitchen and we've moved on to the living room. But there's not much else that I could probably tell you about this build. I don't think. If I remember something like randomly, I'll probably go off on a tangent and just mention it. But yeah, there are a few other things that I wanted to talk about. So if I sound a little bit, I don't know, off, I think I'm sounding fairly like hyper in this video, which is weird because I'm super tired. I'm recording this at like 1 a.m. in the morning, but I spent like the past, I don't know, like 3 hours watching Lil Simsy's live stream, and she's been raising money for St. Jude this whole month of May. And if you didn't know, St. Jude is a child's research hospital in the US. I'll leave a link below to their website because they do amazing work. They work on like researching childhood cancer and finding cures for stuff and all of that, like all of those kinds of things to do with kids. And it's an amazing hospital and an amazing cause. So Little Simsie has been raising money for St. Jude all month, and on today's stream she actually did a virtual tour of the hospital that they actually have up on their website. So yeah, I'll also leave a link to like the tour page as well if you want to go ahead and do that for yourself. Just fair warning, I cried so much during that because it takes you through the hospital. It explains a little bit more about the hospital and, you know, the work that they do and all of that stuff. And I was sobbing, like I was crying like a baby throughout all of it. So yeah, just fair warning if you're planning on like watching it. Maybe don't do it if it's like your time of the month, because yeah, my time of the month, if you know what I mean, but just started today and I'm very emotional. So it probably wasn't the best stream for me to watch right now. But yeah, I watched that. I cried like a baby for like 3 hours. She also ended up raising over $210,000 for St. Jude. And she actually hit that milestone right before I like got off stream. And yeah, it's amazing. She's still raising money for St. Jude until the 31st. So like Monday is when the St. Jude Play Live event ends. And it's absolutely amazing. I know a bunch of other streamers have been raising money for this as well throughout the month. And it's such an amazing cause. And I don't know, it's inspiring, honestly. And yeah, that's really, really amazing. But check out the links that I put in the description below if you're like interested in knowing more about St. Jude or anything like that. But yeah, so that's why I might be sounding a little bit different than I do in like my other videos. Also because, yeah, like I said, my time of the month, so the cramps and the stuff is killing me right now. But I can't do anything about it, so I'm just choosing to ignore it as much as I can, because this weekend is going to be super busy for me and I wanted to get this build done before I have to start working on the other things that I need to start working on. And I'm saying this like you even know what day I'm recording it on, but you guys are seeing this video on Saturday and I'm actually recording it on Wednesday night. So yeah, tomorrow for me, but like 2-3 days ago for you, we actually got the new patch for The Sims 4, and that's an absolutely like huge patch, by the way. So yeah, I should probably tell you what we're getting in it if you haven't like seen the live stream that the team did on, I think they did the live stream on Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. So yeah, basically we're going to be getting 6 new hair colors, 6 new base game hair colors for our Sims. We're going to be getting some like bunk bed customization improvement thingies. That basically means that bunk beds, the configuration of them will actually work the way you'd expect a bunk bed to work. So we'll be able to place like a dresser underneath a bunk bed or like underneath a loft bed, and it will actually work properly. It won't be like unusable anymore, and we'll be able to place like a double bed underneath a loft bed, and both sides of the double bed and the loft bed will work. And yeah, I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it, but it's a really big update, and I will have done a patch overview that will have gone up on Thursday, so I'll leave that linked on the screen as well if you want to go ahead and check that out. But also, we're going to be getting a likes and dislikes system for our Sims, and that's probably the big like selling point about this update is that system, because we're going to be getting a favorite colors, a favorite music genre, and a favorite hobbies and activities like thing that our Sims can choose. So it's going to be adding so much like personality and things to our Sims, and yeah, I'm really excited to do that patch overview. And then also I'm going to be getting early access to the Dream Home Decorator pack as well. And those early access videos will be going up on Monday. So that's basically what I'm going to be working on. this whole weekend because, yeah, I'm probably not going to get much sleep. But yeah, I have a ton of things that I want to record, and you will see the first of those things on Monday. So Monday the 31st, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time is when I'll start uploading videos. And yeah, like I said, really excited to share those with you. And I'm also planning on doing a challenge and a giveaway for the new pack as well. And more information, you'll get more information on that on Tuesday once the pack is actually out for everyone. So yeah, also stay tuned for that. And then also, last thing that I want to mention is that I do have a community post up on my channel where I'll leave it linked in the description. But basically a community post that asks for like suggestions and feedback and all of that stuff about what you want to see me do with the new pack. Do you just want to see speed builds? Do you want to see a little bit of gameplay as well, like me playing through the career and just a bunch of other things as well? So definitely go and check that out and give me your feedback. I always love getting feedback from you guys. But I hope you enjoyed this build. Sorry it has been so rambly and all over the place. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give the video a like. And if you're new to the channel and you'd like to see some more Sims speed builds and just some more Sims content in general, feel free to hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. Also, this build is up on the gallery if you want to go ahead and download it. All of the download information will be in the description as always. But I hope you're all having a great day, and I'll talk to you on my very next video. Bye everyone!